On the first day of the holidays, New Jersey gave to me a real estate market you have to see. From skyrocketing prices to surprising trends, welcome to the 12 Days of Jersey Real Estate Market Report. Each day will unwrap key insights to help you buy or sell smarter this season. Let's kick it off. Hey, if this is your first visit to the channel and you're looking to learn all about the New Jersey suburbs of New York City, then please consider joining our Subs of NYC community. We'd love to have you. Hey, I'm Jeff Massey, your local realtor here in the area, and whether you're moving in the next 7 days or 7 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can help you make an easy, stress-free purchase or sale and get you to the closing table. All right, so as we said, we're going to be unwrapping the real estate market reports for New Jersey, but we're going to do it a little bit differently than I've done in the past, where I've usually done a whole entire GSMLS market report study. What we're going to do today and over the next couple of days is look at specific towns that we talk about a lot on the channel. A lot of them are Midtown direct, some of them are not, but we tend to include those towns as well. And we're going to be ranking them from most affordable to most expensive. So what I'd like for you to do is pause it, or maybe for the next video you can guess which town is gonna come up each time. And then what we can do is, have a little fun with it and see which one you think is gonna be the most expensive. And I think it's gonna probably maybe not fool, but I think it's gonna catch a few people off guard. But again, we're gonna look at most of the towns that we've talked about or highlighted on the channel. But before we get into that, I'd like to tell you about an upcoming buyers seminar that I'm gonna be doing on January 12th, 2025. And if you click the QR code over here, actually, sorry, I was trying to figure out where to point to. It'll take you to a Zoom registration for the webinar. And we're going to be doing that on 8 p.m. It's a Sunday night on January 12th. And we'll be going through the buying process, getting people comfortable with any questions they might have. And then afterwards, if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one appointment, I'd love to do that and get to know you a little bit more personally. But I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you'll register. Also, when you fill out the registration form, please make sure to put your email and your phone number. That way we can send you text message reminders and make sure we get you to the webinar. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll also be a link down below in the description if you're on a phone, if it's easier to click that, and you could fill out the webinar form. Okay, so hopefully I haven't kept you in too much suspense, but the first town that we're going to be talking about that we're considering the most affordable of all the 12 towns we talk about a lot is Morristown. Now, Morristown's a little tricky because it's actually technically in the data set we're going to be looking at. It's actually two towns. You've got Morris Township, which I like to call the donut, and then Morristown in the middle, which is the donut hole, which is more like the downtown area. And they do have a bit of a different price point, which we'll see in the data. So why don't we switch over and take a look at the numbers here. And I've started out here with new listings. Now, one thing I want to point out to you is you'll see here it looks really choppy, right? But that's because we're looking at a month-to-month table. So what I'm going to do is switch this to what we call a rolling 12-month average. So each month it starts to look back 12 months previously, and you'll see here it looks a lot smoother, a lot more digestible, right? So what we're looking at here is Morristown and Morris Township. So it's a big area when you combine both of them, and this is number of new listings per month, as you can see here as I tick back, and this is going back 3 years. So we can see, as you've probably heard the supply and demand imbalance. You can see here that 2021 we were well over 500 for Morris Township and 300 for Morristown itself. But as you can see here, we're still kind of low, but better than we were doing in 2023, which is good. So we are seeing a little bit of an improvement in the market. You can see here Morristown had a bump up here. Morristown had a little bit of a decline, but overall we're still doing better than 2023. So now let's look at closed transactions. As you can notice here, it's 277 for Morris Township, 270 for Morristown. So when we switch to closed sales, let's see if those numbers are pretty accurate. They are. So that means there weren't too many homes that didn't actually end up selling. So you can see 122 versus 239 for those two towns. And again, this is because Morristown is actually in the data sets divided into two sections. So you can see here, Morris Township, again, a slight dip, but overall still better than we saw in like the lull of 2023, although that was more, in the summer months when things were going really quickly. Okay. So let's move on to days on the market, because that's always an interesting number to kind of show people just how quickly things are moving in terms of that supply and demand imbalance. As we're seeing most homes come on the market and then call for bids very quickly, and then they'll accept something, attorney review will happen. So we're seeing about 15 days overall. You could see it was a little bit higher in 2023, and going back to 2021, it was almost double, not double, but 50% higher. And the reason for this is, again, not enough supply on the market. You saw that in the new listings data. But also, I think this is sort of strategic pricing. They're getting a lot of people in quickly and then calling for bids quickly, creating that scarcity dynamic. This is really important when we talk to sellers that understand the scarcity dynamic, and how that influences buyers. Also, when we talk to buyers, we are telling you that, this is kind of the situation that's going on. It's a little bit intimidating, but we just have to, you know, weed through it and understand how we, you know, make our bids and how we go forward from there. But anyways, that's the median. If we look at average, it's probably going to be pretty similar. Oh, okay. So yeah, sorry. Median is the most common number. So that gives us a fair shake of things that are probably the most attractive homes that people are interested in. When we look at average, it's taking all the numbers into play. So you can see here, um, it it was much higher last year overall for Morristown, and then for Morris Township, not too different, but you can see the difference between median and average. So. Okay, so let's look at median sales price and understand how that's looking. And of course, as you can expect with supply and demand imbalance, home prices are increasing and have been even since last year, and even, tremendously since 2021. But anyways, looking at the short term here, you can see a 4 to 7% increase between the two towns, and we're looking at a median average of 830 for Morris Township and 627 for Morristown. Now we're in December, but we're looking at November data. I should point that out. Now, if we switch to average, it's always interesting to kind of see the numbers there. So it's a little bit, sorry, I forgot what was that number? Yeah, 830 versus 895. So a little bit higher on the average. Now, the other thing I think is interesting to look at, percent list price to sale price information. You can see here, traditionally, back a couple years ago, things were kind of, you get it a little bit below asking, if not at asking. But then once the pandemic, housing stock really shrunk, we can see here things were starting to go over asking consistently. And then within the last 2024 and starting to 2023, it was really heating up and going over asking. Now that's, again, kind of looking at this strategic pricing thing that I'm constantly talking about. But as you can see here, 104% over asking, and Morristown shot up in the last month. So again, that could just be the small sample size of data, but it is definitely, 3 to 4% over asking. So now the last one that I think is the most helpful for people is looking at months of supply and how that's dramatically come down over the last 3 years. And just look back a little bit further even. I mean, look at this. April 2021 going back to March 2019. This is 7 months average of how long it would take, or how many available units were on the market based on how many went off the market. So now, that was like 7. Right now we're looking at 1 to 2, almost close to 1, 1.5, 1.8 for Morristown, 1.2 for, or sorry, 1.2 months worth of housing supply on the market at any time for Morris Township. So this just goes to show you it's extremely seller's market. And we have to be really sharp on our numbers when we're making bids as buyers. But as sellers, we also want to be mindful of not scaring too many people off. That's why I keep talking about strategic pricing, in terms of bringing a list price below where we think it's going to go, and then get a lot of eyeballs on that property. So as you can see, seller's market is definitely, anything below 5 to 6 months and anything above 5 to 6 months. That's when we're talking about more of a buyer's market. So when we're right at the end here, um, let's see, 2020 was kind of when the pandemic was really kicking in. We saw that summer was kind of like, what are we doing here? We don't know. So that's why that number is a little high. But then as supply really contracted, you can see how quickly that number came down. Now, if you're interested in any one of the towns that we'll be talking about, there's videos throughout the channel that you can watch to learn a little bit about the downtown areas and various facts, as well as home tours in those particular towns. I hope you enjoy. Now, don't forget to comment which town is going to be next. And also, don't forget to register. Click the link over here to register for the buyer training seminar, or the buyer webinar, I should say. And that's going to be January 12th. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Once again, my name's Jeff Massey. Thank you for letting me into your home tonight. And I hope that together we can help find your next one. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next video.